Hello, family. Welcome to Progressing with India J. Another season, another phase, another moment in my life that I'm sharing with you guys. Something that I've learned, something that I know, something that I'm going through, whatever the case may be. I'm giving it to you raw, unscripted, unfiltered, uncut, and real. If you have not joined to be a part of the family, please subscribe and be a part of the family. Why not? If you have not hit that post notification bell just yet, please go ahead and do so you know when I drop again, because I'm at the point now where I am but time, so I'm going to be dropping videos. Might not be like back to back to back, but you will get more videos than you have gotten in the past. That's my promise, okay? Also, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. If you are a person that has something to say, questions, comments, or concerns, please leave it in the comment section, okay? Other than that, please share this video with somebody that can use it. And without further ado, let's get into today's topic. Is going to be about understanding that at the end of the day, all that we have is self. So we got to make sure self is straight, and understanding that just as we know that, just as we get clear about that, other people do too. And so don't let what you do for self and what you do not do for self affect how you view what somebody does or does not do for themselves. Because at the end of the day, if it comes down to it between you and them, your freedom versus their freedom, your peace versus their peace, your joy versus their joy, your love versus their love, your, career versus their career, and whatever the case may be, when it comes down to it, if it does not benefit them in any shape, form, or fashion, or any way, regardless of how that looks for you or how that looks for y'all, and what your relationship looks like, and what that has going on between the two of you, at the end of the day, they're going to think about how that will be a direct or indirect conflict or resolution of some sort to them in their lives. Understand that. And so when you understand that, you can be able to give people grace, and be able to forgive people, because you understand that it might not have been something I agreed with, it might not be something that I like, it might not even be something I ever thought you were going to do. But at the end of the day, I know that in your brain, that was best for you, and it benefited you in some shape, form, or fashion, in some way. And I would do the same. Not to the same extent, not same situation, not same movement, or whatever the case may be. But if it ever came down to me and somebody else, I'm going to do what's best for me. So I'd be dumb to think you wouldn't do what's best for you. So when you do what's best for you, I can't even get mad at you. Like, yeah, I can feel some type of way about it, but that's just what it is. And I gotta just own it, accept it, take accountability for understanding that you have the freedom to be able to choose that. That if that's what you want to do it. But at the end of the day, I gotta hold you accountable to that's what you did, and so now I gotta choose how I'm gonna rock with what you did, or if I'm not gonna rock with what you did. If I'm going to, keep going in the same direction as you when you do this, or if I'm gonna take a detour and go somewhere else. If I want to keep tolerating this, or if I want to, say not no more. Not because I hate you, not because I had to agree or disagree with your decision, not because, decision was ever mine. But at the same time, you do have to do yourself the favor and hold yourself accountability to what you allow and what you don't. Because truth of the matter is, people say a lot. They do. They say they did that, they won't do this. They said they would do this. They would never do this. They would do that. Absolutely. They would go to war for you. They would go to bat for you. They care about you. They love you. They would not be that person that somebody else has been. They would not do you like somebody else did you. That's wrong. That's this. That's that. And those be the same people that do the same things to you. but not because of the fact that they hate you, they dislike you, that there's anything wrong with you, but because at the end of the day, it benefited them in some way, shape, form, or fashion to do that, to make that decision, to make that call, to, do this, do that, say this, say that, whatever the case may be. But that's not the end of the road because they chose to do you dirty. That's not the end of the road because they chose to tell you that. It's not the end of the road because, now they have, you know, put you 5 step back. That's not the end of the road because they have, abused you. That's not the end of the road because they mishandled you. That's not the end of the road because they chose self. Now it's time for you to choose yourself because they showed you how they choose theirs, but you make the decision on how you choose yourself. Does that mean I want to go back? Does that mean I want to stay? Does that mean I want to leave? Does that mean I want to give them some time? Does that mean I need to reevaluate what I thought was and wasn't? Do I need to reevaluate, whether the math was mathing and what your words said and what your actions said actually align? Do I need to take into considerations the things that I've probably let slide and that led up to this? Do I need to take into consideration the things that I saw, but I really wasn't thinking too much into it? Like, take those things into consideration. Like, sometimes because of the person's relationship to us or the person's amount of time that they've been knowing us or been doing for us or been caring for us or whatever the case may be, or the title connected to that person or the quote unquote loyalty that's supposed to be or not supposed to be with that person, we get oblivious to the fact that sometimes we've missed the fact that they've shown us this already, or that we've known this about this person, or this person has a history of this. Maybe not with us, but maybe with somebody else. Maybe, not with somebody that we care about, we know, we understand, we like, whatever, but we've seen that happen to somebody else like that. We've seen them, make these same type of decisions before. We've seen them, you know, um, choose self like this before. And so if they did it once before, why wouldn't they be able to do it again? If they've shown it in their actions before, why wouldn't they show it in their actions today? Because of who you are, because of how long y'all have been cool, because of the title that that person has? No. Because once something, always something. Not that they can't ever change, but if it's in them, if it's a part of one of their traits and their characteristics, yes, they can replace it with other things and they can choose other paths and other things to do to um, put that down and sweep it under the rug. But at the end of the day, if they never do what they have to do to make sure that is never a thing, then it'll come back up eventually. It will. And so once you figure that out, you got to learn to stop letting everything upset you. Stop letting everything, not saying that you can't be mad or anything, because for me, it's more so the principle when I get mad at people. It's not even what they did, it's the principle of what you did. It's not even the fact that you said this or you've done that, it's the principle behind what you did and what you said. And so it's one of those things where I wanted to share with you guys for me personally, like, because a lot of people are like, well, you keep allowing people to do you wrong. You keep allowing people to do this. You keep allowing, this, and this. You keep trusting that people will do that. You keep having a good heart in spite of all this. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I had just have it in me that no matter what other people do to me, I still have a good heart. I still have a perspective that people can, choose self at any time. So regardless of if we like each other today, if we're good today, if we're in a relationship today, if we have been friends for XY amount of years, or in a relationship or whatever the case may be for XYZ amount of years, and the loyalty is there, that you know I can be oblivious to things. No. But just because I am a person that wants to see the good in people or does see the good in people does not mean I get to forget that just because I do things with good intentions, just because I do good for other people, does not mean it's always going to be reciprocated. Does not mean that people always appreciate it. Does not mean people even care that you do good for them. Some people, at the end of the day, they just are who they are. And until they want to make a change, they are just going to be who they are. And you just got to accept that and choose how you're in relationship with that. And at the end of the day, just understand that that's just what it is. You can't change that. You can't build a bear and switch something out for that. You can't, none of that. You have to just choose how now you move after that. Because there is life after that. There is life after a family member or a friend or a significant other or a business partner or employee or employer, a child or whoever does you wrong. There is life after that. Because at the end of the day, you're still there. You're still living, you're still breathing, you're still moving, you're still walking and talking and still have the ability to do for you. So just as they did for them, now you do for you. No beef, no tea, no shade, no envy, no none of that. No bitterness, no none of that. But I just have to be aware that that's how you do for you. Now I have to make a choice on how I want to do for me and how I want that reciprocated. And if you can't reciprocate it that way, I can't. Mm-mm. I can still talk with you. I can still, want the best for you. I can still see you every now and again. I can still be in the same room with you. I can still even hang with you for real, for real. But I just know that it will never be what it used to be. And knowing that, I have to be careful, cautious, mindful, intentional with now how I choose to move if I'm going to choose to still have you around. Because like I said, it's one of those things you got to learn to forgive. You got to learn to give people grace. Because at the end of the day, you ain't always been selfless. Some point in time you'd have been selfish. At some point in time there will come a point where your loyalty with the next person will be tested. Your trust, your belief, your faith in that person will be tested. Your relationship will be tested. So, like, come on now. You ain't always been a good hearted person. You ain't always been a person with pure intentions. You've had your fair share of wanting other people to feel how you feel. You've had your fair share of, you know, turning away or rejecting, good. You've had your fair share of not always getting it right. You've had your fair share of, it ain't mine, but I ain't gonna say it's theirs either. Like, you didn't intentionally snitch, but you snitched. You didn't intentionally let them go to jail, but you weren't going to jail. You wasn't intentionally letting them, be with that person, but you weren't gonna tell them not to be with that person. You weren't intentionally harming that person, but you weren't not doing things that could lead up to harming that person. So I mean, we're all human. We make mistakes. Things happen. We're not all raised the same. We're not all born to the same parents, grandparents, relatives, siblings. We're not all born with the same spoon in our mouths. We're not all born to the same financial struggles. We're not all born to the same uh mental struggles, physical struggles, spiritual support. Like, we're not born to the same stuff. Everybody has their own stuff going on, and at the end of the day, understand that everybody handles things differently, and you can't expect everybody to handle things like you would handle things because everybody is not you. But you also have to learn how to move in a sense where, regardless of whether people do what you thought that they should do, or you thought that they wouldn't do, or thought that it was loyalty that they did, you still have to move in a way that you don't burn bridges. So you don't just do things because you're mad, or you don't do things because you're super happy, or you don't do things because you feel a way about that person. You just do things understanding that just as you were once forgiven by somebody or God, because yeah, it might not have been just God that forgave you. It might have been, your family member that had to forgive you, or your friend that had to forgive you, or your significant other, or your children, or your boss, or whoever that had to forgive you for something that you did way back when, but you still did it. So if they can forgive you for what they thought was the worst, you can forgive somebody else for what you thought is the worst. Not in the sense that you have to be happy about what they did, not in the sense of where you have to be um, in agreement to what they did, but just in a place where you understand that just like I have a choice of what to do and not to do, so do they. And I don't get to make that choice for them. And knowing I don't make that choice for them, I can see what they choose to do with their choices, and I can make the decision on how I want to move forward or away or whatever with their decisions. But I have to understand that it's important for me to do what's best for me too. Because that's how they do for them, and I understand that I got to do what's best for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. And people might hate you for it. People might not like you. People might not agree with you. People might not even want to mess with you because how you choose to move now after you figuring out how they want to move. But they made the bed, now they got to lie in it. They decided to do that, and so hey, it is what it is. And it's not you being the weaker person or the bigger person, it's just you being human. Understanding that, hey, we all make mistakes, but at the end of the day, it's either I choose to forgive you for your mistake, or I choose to keep beating myself up for your mistake. And why would I do that to myself? Like, I'm not going to move anywhere beating myself up for something you did. So now I just make that decision to choose on how I want to move forward with knowing that you made this mistake, or you choose to do this, or you choose to do that. Just off the principle that you are going to do what's best for you. So if I don't want to get put in a position where, somebody has the ability to do me wrong, or somebody has the ability to show me more than once, or tell me more than once, or, whatever the case may be more than once, then I got to accept it the first time and move how I really need to move the first time. And I get it, not everybody is in that frame of mind to do it the first time, but if you allow it the second time, it's a little bit more that gets invested by the time the second time comes around. There's a little bit more at stake when you wait till the second time around. So get it the first time. Otherwise, that lesson will come back around. I promise you. And I don't know about you, but for me personally, I've had to keep the same lesson going on a hamster wheel in my lives span, and it is not fun having to relearn something that you should have learned the first time. And not saying that it won't happen to anybody, because it will. We all have that one lesson that we just can't get right the first time, and that's what life is for. But at the same time, if you can, and I mean in a place where it's like, I knew this, just do it the first time. Do what you got to do the first time. Don't try to now get it together to do what you got to do now that it's almost too late, or now that you so far in that you got to do extra stuff. Catch it while you ahead. Get the understanding while you ahead that they gonna do what's best for them. So let me make sure I'm always doing what's best for me, cause they gonna do that. But I can choose to be a person that when I do what's best for me, choose to make sure that I'm not trying to hurt people intentionally to do that. I'm not killing, stealing, and destroying what somebody else has to get what's best for me. And that I am literally understanding that how I do things, everybody's not going to be in agreement with. And same thing for somebody else. You might not be in agreement for. But understand at the end of the day, everybody has their own thing. You just got to find yours. There's nothing that you can do about what somebody does with their choices other than make a choice of your own. And at the end of the day, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Continue to keep checking your post notifications so that you can figure out when I post the next video. And I know, as a disclaimer already, the quality is probably trash. I am recording this video on my laptop, so please forgive me. But I wanted to get this video out for those that may need it, those that might need the encouragement, those that might be going through some things where people have done them wrong. People are going through things where they don't know whether they should be in relationship, they should be connected, or they should even still have loyalty for a certain person, because of who that person is, how long they've known them, their title connected to that person, or whatever they've invested in that situation. But I'm here to free you to say, hey, they're going to do what's best for them. So make sure you're always doing what's best for you. You do not have to do it to the same extent that they did you. But at the end of the day, you do have to make sure you take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, who will? Okay, not saying that people won't come along to help you take care of you, but at the end of the day, you always have to make sure you take care of you so you can be the best version of you all day, every day. For those that you might come in connection with, that I will add to what you got. What else? If anybody may need this video, please like it up so we can get to them, so we can work in the algorithm's favor. Also, comment how you feel about this video and what's been said in this video, or if you've ever experienced anything that was said in this or shared in this video. And also make sure you share this with somebody who may need it. Bye.